Hi everyone, so today I have this amazing video. As we all know that recently Flux Context came out, which is a pretty amazing model, and I have seen people say that it is better than ChatGPT 4.0 in terms of image editing. So today we are going to compare ChatGPT 4.0 with Flux Context. So I'll go through many prompts and examples with different tasks, and I'll see which one actually performs the best, because benchmark can be anything, but if it does not work practically, then it is of no use. So let's get started. So my first image is this, and all of the realistic images that you see in this video are generated by me with ChatGPT. So I am not using anyone else's pictures for this. So you can see this is the image, right? And what I'm doing is, firstly, for both of these, Flux as well as ChatGPT, I have given the prompt, change her white top to a red leather jacket, right? And then I'll see what it can do. One thing you need to remember if you are using Flux Playground like me, I have reduced the batch size to 1, and here I would change it to 1 because I am just comparing 1 with 1. And here you can see the aspect ratio, safety tolerance, I have put it to default, which is 2. Prompt unsampling, I have not enabled it. You can enable it and it will expand, like this is the magic prompt kind of feature. So it will expand the prompt. Now with that, I'll click on generate for both of these. So the images are ready, and one thing that you would notice is that ChatGPT actually completely changes the person. So this is the photo, and another thing is that everything that I prompted to make this image more realistic in the actual version, it actually changes it, and it looks like some kind of AI generated image. Like it is not as realistic as this one, right? But then if we look into Flux Context, here you can see that the face is pretty similar. Like even if the image has been changed and everything, but we can still understand that the face is pretty similar, and someone would say that it is the same person. So when it comes to retaining facial features, I think Context is better than ChatGPT, no doubt. So now, one thing that I would like to do is, I'll keep the same image, but now I am trying to edit. So I'll go to edit, right? And I'll upload the same image again. And here what I'll do is, here you can see add rectangle hint. And I'll just select this part and give the same prompt. That is, change her white top to a red leather jacket, right? And in Sora, I'll do the same, which is ChatGPT. I have the same image. Here I can come here, right? And in remix, you can see there is an option to paint this part. So I'll do that roughly, and I'll give the same prompt. The images are ready. Now I accidentally forgot to change the batch size and I kept it at 4 previously. You can see now I have reduced it. But we'll take the first image for fairness, and you can see when I compare it with this, just look at these parts, right? These are pretty similar. Everything is almost the same. And this is the reason I say that it excels. Whereas if we come to ChatGPT, you can see the face has again changed. We specifically selected this portion, but then again, like these parts are kind of similar, as you can see, but here this would be probably salt or sugar. This has changed here. And although the jars have been switched, it understands that there was one jar with something white in it. So I think, and when it comes to the facial feature as well, this resembles this very much. And the reason I compared this like masking with normal text is because if we have to mask, it is something which is already possible with Comfy UI and with greater precision. So if you have used my Comfy UI workflows, you can see you can select this particular section and change the outfit, and nothing from the outside of that mask will ever change. So this is again one of the features of Flux if you are using Comfy UI. Now let's move on to the next example. For the next example, I have this image, and what we are gonna do is that we are going to change this setting from indoors to a mountain peak with snowfall, just to see whether the snow interacts with her face and how they managed to do it. So you can see I uploaded the image, changed the background to a snowy mountain peak with snowfall, right? And I am going to remix this. Now the same thing goes on for this as well. Change the background to a snowy mountain peak with snowfall. And again you can see these are the settings. Okay, so the output got censored in ChatGPT. So I'll change the image so that there is a fair comparison. Okay, so I'll be using this particular image and with Sora, and I'm using the edit. And let's see. So now as you can see, the image is ready. And this looks pretty much like this. Like you can see the facial features are somewhat similar. And yeah, everything else is same. It is a mountain peak, snowfall. Everything looks pretty awesome. But when we come to ChatGPT, there was again like a violation of policy in this one as well. So we'll just move forward. Now for the next example, I have this image, and basically I will be zooming on this house, or I am going to write house to see whether it can understand this context or not. This is not exactly a house, but let's see. Zoom in on the house. This is what I have written, and remix. Same goes for this. So we have the ChatGPT image, and as you can see, this has completely been changed. Now the reason I provided this example is to see whether it can understand the context and how much can it copy, like from the original reference image, because zooming in means keeping every detail same. But here it gets the idea of what is happening, but then again, this has been completely changed. And this in no way looks like a house, but this probably can be a house, I'm not sure. And even if you change the aspect ratio, the understanding changes. But now, if you look at this has what being generated with Flux Kontext. And now if you look closely, this looks amazing. One thing that I don't understand is that if you noticed, it looks a little bit of pixelated, right? And this is a very smaller image. So I don't know whether it is, I think it is changing something, because if you look at this part here and here, it's very hard to tell whether it has generated something or just zoomed in, right? Because of this pixelation part. But then again, if you look at the clouds, you can understand that there is some kind of generation, but it also took the understanding that it has to be, let's say like pixelated or something. So I will take another chance and I will write to make it clear, and let's see ultra sharp clear what it comes up with. We do not need to compare it with ChatGPT because we already know it is not going to happen, right? So you can see all the settings are here, right? Make it crisp and ultra sharp. And now we'll generate again. We have our generation, and now if you look closely, this is not that sharp, but there are many differences. So I mean, it is still way better in terms of understanding what is happening with this particular image, but then again, like this is not exactly the perfect thing that I was looking for. And if you look closely, it is curving here, and it has all the elements, but it somehow messed up. Make it crisp and ultra sharp, and it did not create. So let's move on to the next example. So for the next example, I am taking this image and I am going to change this hello. So I have uploaded this and I have written change the text to Hogwarts and keep everything else same including style. Same goes for here, and now we'll generate. Let's see. Now as you can see, the images are created and ChatGPT worked wonders for this, but then again the outlines are not great. It understood the assignment, but it is not that great. Whereas if you look at this, one thing which I actually loved is that it changed the font a little bit as well. But you can see the outlines and everything are perfect. Like exactly perfect, right? And here what we can do is that I can try once again, including everything else same, including style and font. And I actually found the issue that was happening earlier in the previous image generation. Whatever image that we provide, I actually skipped this. Whatever image that we are providing, the final output is of that resolution only. So because I put a low resolution image, so it changed in the previous example, that house on mountaintop, but then again like it was low resolution only. So in this also you can see, because this is slightly smaller, so you can see that this is not very high quality. So you need to provide with high resolution images. Now we'll try this one as well. So when I try to copy, keep the style and font same, it gets moderated. I don't know why. Maybe because you are not allowed to copy some kind of font. So that is something. But then again, like it does a pretty good job, and I think it does better than what ChatGPT did. For the next example, I have this image and I'm going to colorize it because this is black and white. So just a simple prompt, and now what I'll do is that I'll change the aspect ratio. And although this should not matter when it comes to colorization, but then again, colorize this image, and this will be the same prompt here as well. Now we have the results. This is for ChatGPT. You can see there are differences. Just look at the ring here. And although it looks the same, but it is not the same, but you will be amazed to see this one. This and this. Like it is the perfect colorization with everything same. Every minute detail. So like this is crazy because, and I understand the point. Maybe I think they are using ControlNet or something at the back end to have this kind of perfection. But then again, when we are comparing two platforms and the capabilities, this is insane, and it is something that I have never seen, like such perfection, you know. Even the skin tones and everything looks so photoreal, and this looks a little bit made up. So now let's come to the next example. Next we have this image, and what I'm gonna do is that change this to Mappa style animation. So Mappa is a studio, animation studio, and I think it is the studio behind Jujutsu Kaisen, which is very popular. So I'll see whether it can create that kind of animation or not. And same goes for Flux Context. Now, as we can see, the images are created, and I think both of them did an amazing job here. So ChatGPT did good, and Flux Context did good, but the problem is, you can see in this image, the skin is a little bit like sweaty. Here it like literally drew all these like sweat droplets, and I think like which feels a little bit unnatural. But when it comes to like following the prompt, it was supposed to be there, right? But then again, here you can see that is not happening, but there is supposed to be a piercing which is present in this image. So this is one particular example where I would say both of them did their best in their respective line or process what they are trying to follow. Both of them actually had this text correct, Team Excalibur, and yeah, it was pretty good. So for this last example, I have taken this example of create an image of this person fighting in a boxing ring. So we are going to use this face to generate an image where she would be fighting in a boxing ring, and this is the same prompt for both of these, and let's see what they generate. Okay guys, so the images are ready. One thing I would like to mention is that in this prompt you can see there is create an image of this person. In this one I had to change it to create an image of this woman because for some reason Flux was understanding this face as of a man, right? So that was being a problem, and the body was completely like buffed up of some male bodybuilder. So and the face was also changing slightly, so I had to mention a woman here to generate this. And here you can see this is a pretty decent image, but when it comes to the face and everything it is good, but you can see there are some problems with this image. One of them is boxing gloves, we cannot see like fingers like this. As much as I know, like it looks more like a normal thick glove rather than a boxing glove. So I don't know whether like you can see fingers like separately, but this one, if you look at it, looks more realistic. You can see the face looks very good, and if you look at the boxing glove, you can see like this fingers are not separated out like this one, and even the thumb and everything like it is a bit different. So I feel when it comes to understanding, there are some particular like examples where ChatGPT is still better, but then again both of them did a very good job. And this was the complete comparison. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and which one do you think actually is better. If you have used both of them, I would love to listen like which one you prefer and for what particular work. Thank you.